Hello everyone, it's David again. We're on Season 3, Episode 19, titled Gray 17 is Missing. We start off with the recruitment for telepaths. And the telepaths they don't seem to have shortage of until they tell them that we're going to fight a war against the shadows. And then the vast majority of them drop out. Gee, wonder why. So they need to find Dr. Franklin because he has information on the Underground Railroad, and maybe they can recruit some of those telepaths. We zip on over, and a man is violently taken away while working on the power source for Gray 16. Wonder what happened. Cue the entrance music, and we have Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger, as Jeremiah. We zip on in, and Delenn is to deliver Sinclair's stuff back to his family. Though he's not dead, he's just gone back 1,000 years. Well, just another day in the life. There's a need to replace Ranger 1, and Delenn is the one who's been nominated. We zip on over, and Ivanova finds Steven going through withdrawals. I've been through withdrawals, been through rehab twice. The last time I went through withdrawals, I did it cold turkey, meaning no medications like Ativan to help me. And let me tell you something, it ain't fun, people. I was absolutely miserable for days. Luckily, mine went within a few days. Sometimes you can have even a month or so after your last drink before you start going through withdrawals. It depends on the drug, depends upon how quickly your liver metabolizes it. Mine is, I went through withdrawals actually within about 12 hours of my last drink. And they only lasted for 72 hours, but man, they were bad. If you've ever had a history of seizures in your life, you must go to a hospital. Please don't try and rehab at home, okay? Since I didn't have the seizures, they allowed me to go home. The doctor says, if you need medication like Ativan, I'll be happy to admit you to the hospital. And I'm like, well, no, I have a cat at home, so I went in the home to take care of my cat, and that cat, by the way, passed away about 2 years ago today, so she lived for a long time. I called her my warrior because she and I had been through many battles together. She helped get me through the delirium tremens, they call. Anyway, Franklin gives her the info on the telepath railroad on the proviso that she and anybody else do not come looking for him. He has to go through this battle on his own. So we end up, and all of a sudden Naroon shows up with and confronts Delenn at Babylon 5 because by law the warrior caste should lead the Rangers. So he's going to try and pick a fight with Delenn. We learn that no Minbari has killed another Minbari in 1,000 years, but now that she's disbanded the Grey Council, the rules are pretty much anything goes. We discover that Michael Garibaldi has discovered a missing level of B5. He goes in, opens the door, rushes through, the door shuts, and all of a sudden this creepy little mannequin thing hits a dart out and sedates him. We zip on over, and Lanier's concerned that Naroon might start a civil war if he kills Delenn, so he wants Marcus, a human, to stop Naroon. So I guess that's a little bit of less of a concern there, you know. Poor Marcus will be dead, but hey, as long as no Minbari dies, whatever. We zip on in, and Michael Garibaldi wakes up and is confronted by Jeremiah, aka Freddy Krueger. And I'm not going to repeat because a lot of it to me is not the best dialogue. To be honest, this is not one of my more favorite episodes of Babylon 5, and a lot of people have also panned it as well. It's like, what? Really? You've had all these years to find a missing level, and all of a sudden now you're getting around to doing it? You know, it just... whatever. We find out that Delenn's mother had entered. She was talking with Captain Sheridan about her family. Her mother entered the Sisters of Valeria, and has only seen Delenn twice since then. And he's like, oh, that's terrible. No, it's a great honor to be. And in a lot of, the Far East, it is not uncommon to drop your kid off at the age of 5 and drop him off at the local monastery, and he becomes, say, a Buddhist or a Hindu monk and never sees their parents again, or hardly ever sees them again. So that's not uncommon. At any rate, Marcus ends up confronting Neroon, and Neroon says, during the war I killed 50,000 of you, what's one more? And so Marcus very smartly invokes Denshaw, or to the death. Oh great, dude. Really? Neroon is starting to beat the snot out of Marcus, and he's pleading with Marcus, look dude, why don't you just run away? You know, you're a human, this doesn't mean anything to you. I'll say that you ran off, and you know, you won't be held at fault, but you know, I have to kill you if you're a Membari, or you know, stick around for things. So, but he says, nope, we live for the one, we die for the one. Ends up getting the snot beat out of him by Neroon. At the tail end of the ceremony, as they're, you know, crowning Delenn Ranger 1, here comes Neroon, and he's got a bloody pike, and he says, you know, I never thought they would die for me, or I do not think they will die for me, but they will die for you. And he throws down the pike and says, Intil Za, and walks off. Okie dokie. We zip on in, and Michael Garibaldi ends up injuring a Zarg, which is some sort of weird alien with long claws, kind of like the Predator versus Alien. Makes you wonder if it's a Shadow Servant, they call them. So Garibaldi kills it. He has some old ammunition from way back in the day. And so he puts it in this hot pipe and shoots out the ammunition and kills the Zarg that's been infecting Gray 17. So people, and I've said, you know, I used to be, you know, I'm a professional, I'm an NRA person, you can't do that sort of thing. I'm like, really? Because way back when I was in elementary school, if you guys have a problem with gory stuff, go ahead and just go ahead and stop the commentary right here. Give a thumbs up or thumbs down, leave a comment. And because what I'm about to tell you is not a pleasant thing to have to think about. At any rate, elementary school, we are getting an addition put onto our school, and for some odd reason, the construction workers were using live 22 gauge bullets. Okay, not only were they leaving, or you know, using them, but they were leaving them around for the kids to find them, because they had very, you know, movable gates and stuff like that. It was not a problem for kids to get in there. Now, the teachers were screaming bloody murder to the principal and everything, and they were talking to the construction crew of, you know, guys, it is really not a smart idea to leave live 22 bullets around an elementary school. Because what happened was, and some of my buddies were doing this, they were taking the 22 shells, they were taking big rocks, smashing the 22 shells, and setting them off. Well, they just were not smart on the uptake, and they kept leaving these bullets around for us kids to find them. Now, I had to get out of school. I went the opposite direction. One of my friends ended up, he had to go through the area because there's a marsh on the other side. He physically had to go through this area. Well, he was hiding behind the school because they were setting off these 22 bullets, and he peeked his head around the corner of the school building to see if they were done and it was safe for him to, and all of a sudden, bam, one of the bullets went right into his right eye. Okay? I'm not going to tell you all the gory details, but what ended up happening is he and his parents ended up suing the school and the school district and the construction site. He permanently lost his right eye, got a glass eye, and he supposedly got, I think, $500,000, and this was in the late 70s, I believe. So that was a princely sum of money, and I think he got a free education all the way up through college, through the University of Alaska, Anchorage. He got free scholarship to go there. And then being elementary school kids, and of course they replaced the construction company. Duh. And as elementary school kids, I'll never forget this. Oh my God, it was so gross. We would gather our money together and pay him money for him to take his eyeball out and show us the big hole in his eye. You know, as elementary school kids, that's what we did for fun. And he, for party money, and used to get quite a bit of money paying us, or us kids paying him off to show off his glass eyeball. Ugh. So, at any rate, it is possible to set off and kill a Zard with 22, or with bullets, you know, down a hot pipe. Saw it happen once in action myself. At any rate, not one of my more favorite episodes, but one of my favorite episodes, and The Rat Cried Out No Hiding Place is up next. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hope you all have a good rest of your day.